Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. Those of you that are regular viewers, welcome. If you're new to the channel, you are most welcome. So we start our journey where we left last time. So this is the top of Ward's End. So for me this is, really Halifax in a nutshell. On this side we've got really old Victorian merchants' houses. I think that's how they started life as, and now of course they are solicitors' offices and other modern uses. So now for a lot of people this building, the Halifax headquarters, is a bit of an eyesore, but for me it shows how the town grew from strength to strength. And of course then we've got the late Victorian, early 20th century buildings that were used for entertainment and other purposes. So over there is a nightclub, used to be a cinema, and of course over there is the Victoria Theatre. So I'm at the end of Commercial Street and I'm going to be winding my way all the way around back to the town hall. So I'm going to get myself across this road. Let's hope I can do it safely, and then describe the building that's behind me. So again, there used to be a roundabout here, and I think it's a lot better now with the traffic management. Okay, so this is the end of Commercial Street. Behind me, yet another place for the night people. In my time it used to be a cinema called the ABC. Okay, so one last look at the Victoria Theatre before I move on. Okay. So this is Fountain Street, and lovely late Victorian, early 20th century buildings now used for different purposes. So this is the back of the Victoria Theatre. So again, lovely architecture. Okay, the street that I'm coming to is called Powell Street, and I've stopped here just to show you the building at the background. Really, that is Somerset House. Well, just wait for the siren to go past us. Let's hope it's not too serious. So as I say, that started life off as a bank called, to show you the ambulance going by, called Rawson's Bank, and that of course is that is called Rawson Street. So the buildings here in my time used to be what we used to call at that time the commercial quarters, and there were a lot of sort of stockbrokers and occupations like that, and insurance companies. Okay, so just pan once more again before I move on. So we're going up Fountain Street. I'll stop at the points that I know. So really nice 20th century buildings. What we're coming up to is a road called Harrison Road, which used to house the old police station. Okay, another nice restaurant called the Potting Shed. Okay, and next to that another drinking place called the Baron Top Inn. So if we look across, We got more nightlife, and this is the doorway to the inn. Okay, so lots and lots of historic buildings on the other side. So I will make another video, because over there, once again, just like we had the building in town, that is one of the oldest buildings. Okay, and in the background you see more sort of 20th century buildings. It's all apartments now. In my time it used to be offices, and I remember my father going in there for tax returns, etc., or any queries that he had. So I'm at the top of Rawson Street now. So as I say, that building there is the back of what I went past in an earlier video, the Lloyds Bank building. As I say, it started life off as the Rawson Bank or Somerset House. Okay, and lots of small retailers, so obviously some a Polish deli shop there, a sandwich. Okay, and the back of another drinking place, which I shall show you. Okay, so we are at the top of what's known as Bull Green. So all this area is Bull Green. So the road going that way is called King Cross and leads to other villages such as Mytholmroyd, Headon Bridge, Sorby, and of course Lancashire. Okay, so if I come back on here, this is the top of George Street, and the whole area is known as George Square. Okay, so a lot of the buildings now changed use. In my time, where Stead's is now, which of course is a salon, used to be a sports shop called Jack Lee's. So if you remember that, please comment upon that. So if you remember, I showed the building at the bottom there, which is the Lloyds Bank building, and again on this side there used to be various retailers where KFC is, and above it is apartments and more nightlife for the people that like that sort of thing. Okay, so where that space is used to be a really what can only be described as an ugly car park. I'm so glad that it has gone. Okay, and behind it of course more 20th century flats. So I am going to go on the other side so that I can film on this side, because as you can see there isn't an awful lot on the other side, so it's going to take a while. But whilst I'm stood here, the street across there is the bottom of Lister Lane, named of course after the owner of Shibden Hall, upon whose life a documentary has been made. So I'm going to try and get across, and oh dear, it's quite a lot of traffic. I didn't anticipate this amount of traffic on a Monday afternoon. I'll film away from it. So what you see in the background is Ebenezer's Church, which again is a very old, I think the Wesleyan is the word. Okay, so I'm going to walk along here. This area is called Cow Green. No doubt these are all 12th, 13th century names when the animals were able to graze around the area. So as I said, this is the bottom of Lister Lane, and for me it has memories because we used to live further up this street, although it does join on to another street called Gibbet Street, which I shall be filming later because it has other famous connotations, and I shall hold you in suspense. Okay, but the street itself has been sort of cut off, which I'll show later, with a dual carriageway. So as I say, there used to be a car park here, it is no longer, and we go back on to Cow Green, just to admire the marvellous architecture once again, actually. So again, as these were large merchants' houses to start off with, and then became retail outlets towards the 20th century. And if we look in the background, that building was actually being built in the year that we came to this country, which is 1968. Okay, so someone, a Thai restaurant along the way. What we see here is a subway that was opened in the 70s, and it takes you across to the other side. So I'm going to keep going along this because I want to show you the next lane next that the church is located on. Okay, so obviously what we're approaching on this side is the top of Broad Street, and once I get further down, oh, you can actually see it now, the View Cinema and Broad Street. So as I say, this is Pelham Lane, and it takes you to other residential areas, and they of course start with this high-rise block here, and as you go further up there are more and more residential areas. So I'm going to attempt to cross the road. So next to the building there are a lot of retail outlets, some of them still open. So as you can see in the background, that is where the town hall is, and that is what we are aiming for. Okay, safe to cross. So more of what you see right at the back is Martin's Mill, which was a very famous mill. Okay. Just pause for a while because this is called St. James's Road. As you can see, it houses the job centre now, and when I was a youngster, that is where the bus station used to be. So it's moved from there to further down. So we are very close to the end of today's journey. Safe across. So as you can see, lots of restaurants in Halifax, and the building that you see ahead of you is actually the back of Yorkshire Bank. Okay. It's just such a nice walk. So pity about the traffic noise. So again, ahead of you see a subway which takes you over to there on the other side, which is the beginning of Commercial Street. Okay, so it is now the bingo, a very 20th century building. Used to house the Odeon in my time. So as you can see, we're almost back towards the town hall, but it's the short street there actually that I want to concentrate on. They started life off as weavers' houses, and of course later became the retail units, which of course changed hands over time. So I'm going to carry on because I want to show the next street as well. So those are other places within the Broad Street Plaza. So as you can see, there's a Premier Inn there, and there's various other eateries as well as some dental practices. Okay. So this is known as Orange Street, and I think you can make it out. There is a roundabout there, which it used to be the largest. Well, it still is the largest roundabout, and that of course takes you out of Halifax town to the other cities and smaller villages such as Shell and other parts of Bradford, I think Buttershaw, places like that, and of course Keighley if we go straight ahead. If we turn left at this roundabout, that is the carriageway that takes you towards Lancashire. Okay, so the spire that you see at the back there is located in another village called Booth Town. Okay, I'm going to come back here because I'm going to attempt to cross the road safely, and then once I get across, that is the point that I wanted to finish. Oops, sorry about that, I had to rush a little bit there. I thought somebody was coming, but they're not. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and admire the town hall once again. I mean, it really is a splendid building, and I don't know whether I've mentioned it. It was designed by the same person who built the Houses of Parliament. I don't think he lived to see the completion of it, but he is to be praised for it. There are some lovely features. So further down is a restaurant called the Kashmiri Aroma with apartments over it, and the railway station is down there, and that's about it really for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the walk that I've undertaken today. So once again, please subscribe to my channel, share the videos with as many people as you can, and until the next time, please look after yourselves, stay safe. Allah Hafiz. अपना भी ख्याल करना, दूसरों का भी ख्याल रखना. Allah Hafiz. Goodbye until the next time.